Are you ready to elevate your real estate reputation from just being known to being celebrated? Hello and welcome to Mind Renovation Nation show, the show brought to you by Red Maples, your trusted partner for institutional style property management of your small multifamily properties. I'm your host, Nathan Bush. In each episode, we unpack real life insights from our real estate experience. Join us if you're a trailblazer, thought leader, if you're an industry influencer, insider, and let's unearth some of these nuances and challenges and gold mines in small multifamily investing. Our mission on this show is to guide you through market navigation, fine-tuning your management processes and procedures, and equipping you with strategies to boost your returns while slashing unnecessary costs. Together, we decode essential truths, ensuring that you're not just in the game, but ahead of it on this show, Mind Renovation Nation. If you like these types of insights, if you like this type of information, please go to my website. You can find the website, www.nathanbushmba.com/subscribe, in the notes below, the description below. Also, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel if you like this kind of information, if you want to learn more about small multifamily investing. Today, we're going to talk about this topic: how to become known and celebrated in real estate. I got a question to ask you, and that question is this. Give me 1 second. Let me pop it up here for you. That question is this: how many of you have ever felt this? No matter how hard you work in the real estate sector, you're just still blending in with the crowd. You're facing skepticism about your methods. What's holding you back from being celebrated as opposed to just being known in some of your circles? What's holding you back from being a person who's celebrated? We're going to talk about that in today's show. And I know what you're thinking right now. You're thinking to yourself, well, Nathan, I do all right. I make plenty of money in real estate. Yeah, but are you being celebrated by those around you? Are you the type of person who is having momentous success, meaning you're going from success to success to success? Or do you often have these setbacks and you're trying to think to yourself, how is this happening to me? Today's show is going to be all about that. We're going to be talking about this whole concept of becoming celebrated, becoming a celebrated person in real estate. Now, to become a celebrated person in real estate, you have to craft a unique brand identity. A unique brand identity. How many of you know what a brand identity is that's out there? How many of you know what a brand identity is? If you know what a brand identity is at this point, go ahead and type it in the comments. Type out what you believe a brand identity is. And we're going to discuss the importance of having a distinct voice in a crowded market. How many of you right now believe that the real estate market is a crowded market? With the influence of hedge funds and institutional investors that have come into the market space, it's probably become more and more difficult to find deals and to buy deals. Maybe some of you are buying deals, but those deals aren't cash flowing the way that you'd like to see them cash flowing. Maybe with the economy, with the way that it's changed, more and more people are trying to enter real estate to supplement some of their income. Well, there is an importance of having a distinct voice in a crowded market. You have to be known for who you authentically are. And that's how you craft a unique identity. A number of years ago, I was working in an organization and I had a mentor come to me and he said to me, Nathan, you just need to be you. At that time, I didn't know what that meant. I was like, Chuck, how do I just be me? It didn't make any sense. I didn't know who I was. I didn't have a unique identity that I had found in order to be able to be in this marketplace and be able to craft out my own voice. I was still learning. I was researching. I was sounding like a lot of others that are out there. And today I've become more of myself. I've become more authentic. And so you have to craft this authentic voice and this authentic brand. And I'll show you a little bit of how about to do that in this show. The first place that you start with this crafting a brand for yourself is you go where you're celebrated, not tolerated. Do people that run in the same circles as you just tend to tolerate you? Or do they celebrate you for your uniqueness? Do they see the value in who you are? I know that in the Bible, Matthew chapter 7, verse 6 has this to say. They say, "Do not throw your pearls to pigs. If you do, they may trample them under their feet and turn and tear you to pieces." I don't know about you, but this speaks to me about going where I'm celebrated and not where I'm tolerated. You have to find your tribe. You have to find your community. You have to find that group of people where when you go there, the value is inherent who believe in you. Align your brand with places and people who appreciate your unique value. So this whole passage in the Bible, it's talking about pearls to don't throw your pearls to pigs. What are these pearls? What are these pearls that they're talking about? Is it maybe talking about your gifts and your treasures and the things that you've automatically been blessed with, the strengths that you have as a person? Don't go around casting those strengths and just giving them to everybody. It says there that they'll turn and tear you to pieces just from you identifying the fact that you're there. Look, your values determine your value. That's where the terminology comes from. Your internal values determine your value. So why not dive into doing the right thing? Why not dive into integrity? Why not put truth and integrity at the forefront of your decisions in the real estate market? If you put truth and integrity at the forefront of in the real estate market and you lead in every environment with your values, now if you're in the right environment, you can deliver those values to people and they will appreciate them. If they don't appreciate your values, you know what? You're in the wrong crowd. You don't have to run in a crowd that doesn't run with your values. That's the cool thing. If people appreciate your values, they will tend then to follow and celebrate you for having those strong values. Look, I have been in a number of different situations over my career where I have been asked to do things that maybe are borderline unethical. And what's interesting is every single time I've been asked to do something, I'll give you a perfect example. I was working for a property management company, and my supervisor, there was a squatter that had moved into the property, and my supervisor wanted me to take our organization's lease, send it to them, let them sign our lease, and I sign our lease and pretend like it was okay that they had moved in to that property illegally. Now, a part of this squatter situation is that they were sold that this was their property by some type of scammer on the internet, and they had moved themselves into the property. And we've learned a little bit since then on how to control and deal with that in the marketplace. However, that particular squatter that was in that situation was willing to pay the current market rent. But see, here's the thing. The proper thing to do is to move out, have them apply properly, have them go through the same process as everybody else, and then move back into the property the proper way. But this particular manager wanted to shortcut the right thing to do. And so I told her no. And that message stuck with her. She was upset with me for a little bit. And she went ahead around me and did it herself and ended up catching her in a little bit of trouble. And then what was interesting about that is years later, that same manager reached out to me and we were talking about some deal that she was working on because she knew that I had integrity. She was asking me about something in real estate specific because of the character, the unique brand that I've cultivated over a number of years. You can do the same thing. You just have to understand where your value is and to know that you need to go where you're celebrated and not tolerated. That's what makes us unique. What makes us unique is our values. What we choose to believe and what we choose to hold is important in our lives. So, the first thing that you can do in order to craft this unique brand is to decide what these values are going to be for yourself. and then consistently communicate these values. Like you guys hear me talk about on this program a number of times. You'll never be bigger on the outside than you are on the inside. That's a personal value I have of growth. You hear me often talk about doing the right thing. I bring it up in slides and slides and talk about integrity and talk about the importance of doing it by the book, basically. See, these are things that I cultivate within my unique brand. You'll hear me talk about seeking out the truth in every situation. These unique values are so important because they craft your unique identity. Now, one of the other verses, and I don't have it up for the screen, is Romans chapter 12, verse 21. It says, "Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good." And if you're known for that, if you're known for that unique identity, then when you begin to build your network with genuine connections, people know that you're out to do good things in the groups that you've cultivated. Look, networking isn't just about the quantity, but quality of relationships that you are able to develop. All right. So, what are some ways that you can develop your network and build your network and grow your network? One of the first things that you can do is identify pockets and pools of people. I call these the tribe that you're going to pursue. The tribe that you're going to pursue. Who is the group of people that you're going to bring your unique values to? That you're going to share and craft those values around. You've never heard this before. This is probably the first time in your life you've heard of this program called values-based marketing. And that's what I teach. That's what I do. So I'm taking that same program and I'm sharing it with you. Who is that group of people that you can bring your values to, that you can elevate the value of that group by bringing your values there? Because remember, authentically, everywhere you go, there you are. And so it is up to you to establish a network of people that you can add value to, pockets and pools of people who can likely buy from you, that you start with the premise of adding value to them. It's what makes you uniquely different. It's how you craft that unique brand. Look, the second step in adding value to situations is to go into those situations with opportunities to serve others. Don't go in with a taking mentality, with what can you get from this group. I'm a part of a number of different networking groups around the St. Charles and St. Louis area. One of those groups happens to be Tours and Pours from the Make It Happen Realty Group. Lee Fjord runs that group. Incredible guy, massive success in real estate. And I, every single week, look to bring more of you to his group, to build the Tours and Pours program, because it helps all of the sponsors. It helps the real estate investors that are there, and it helps Lee grow his group that he's trying to grow. I take my own value and add value to that group. You got to do the same thing. You got to find where are these pockets and pools of people that I can bring value to that group. Another group is the St. Charles County Real Estate Investors Association. If you haven't been to that meeting, that meets the first Wednesday of every month at the Walnut Grill. It's a growing group right now. And what's great about that group that I'm able to add value is that I come in and I speak on a regular basis. And every time I'm able to speak at that group, there's more and more people that are able to be retained at that group, that come back time and time again because they want the information that's based upon the values that I have. And so they learn and grow based upon that value. Michael Babcock, who runs that group, who's very intelligent, learned a lot of stuff from successes and real estate failures that he's had in the past. He shares that with the group on a regular basis. And because we're able to deliver value and add value to this group, guess what? Those people become served that are there for free. There's no charge to attend either of these two groups. They're there, they receive value, but who is helping to deliver that value to them? That's the person that they're buying into. So this is how you're building your network. Remember, today we're talking about how to become celebrated in your real estate journey, not just known, but celebrated. And the way you become celebrated is, number one, you craft a unique brand. The second thing you do is you establish a good network. Networking is a two-way street. Can you serve or benefit other people? That is the question. That's the real question in building your network. So, some tips for today. First thing is find those industry pockets and pools, those places where you can go that you can add value to those communities, and go there with a servant mindset. And then, not just offline, but you can do this online as well. Find online communities, Facebook groups, different forums where you can share information, where you can be a part, where you can just add value to others authentically and transparently to who you are. With no, and I do mean this, no thought of anything that you're going to get in return for it. So after you build your network and you've crafted this unique brand, the next step in the process is to position yourself as a thought leader. And yes, that's the part of the process that you see right now while you're watching this online. How many people have you heard talk about in real estate values-based marketing in order to be more successful? If that's unique to you, put it in the comments. Values-based marketing. If you're watching this on replay, values-based marketing, put it in the comments. Let me know that this is unique to you, that you have not heard this process before. So to position yourself as a thought leader, there are some different tactics, and it's important for you to provide genuine value to your audience. Help them in very specific ways. Map out your curriculum. One of the things that I do is I sit down at the beginning of every month and I plan out what are the next shows that I'm going to do live online for you. And if I can do 2 months in advance, I will. It just depends on what I'm trying to do. So what's interesting about this is because I've taken the time now to craft out what the message is, I've done it a month in advance. Now I can take that same messaging that I was going to utilize online and I am going to utilize online, take that same curriculum, bring it back to my network, and then ultimately utilize that same information for how I'm positioning myself in my marketing channels about the things that I value, the ways that I want to help you. If you can put yourself in a position, thanks, Keith. I appreciate you commenting while you're watching live on the show today, values-based marketing, that this is the first time you've ever heard it, because this is the first time I've ever heard it. I've coined or crafted this term of value-based marketing over a number of years of learning to grow and to build organizations. And so I want to make sure that you can utilize this piece, this values-based piece, by doing the proper planning, by positioning yourself as a thought leader. This is how you're going to craft that unique brand, that unique story about yourself, is by defining those values, starting to build your network, and then start this process of positioning yourself, your curriculum on what you're going to deliver and how you're going to deliver that unique brand to your audience. Your values determine your value. I'll say it again, and I'll say it again on this show, and I'll say it one more time. Your values determine your value. What inside of you, what have you made a decision around what you value? Do you value love? Do you value joy? Do you value peace? Do you value doing the right thing? Do you value faithfulness and loyalty? Do you value gentleness? Do you value self-control? Do you value kindness? Do you value goodness? Do you value seeking the truth? What are your values? Once you know what those values are and how you hold those values, then you can deliver those values to the marketplace that will attract people to you, so that you're not in a position where you're constantly having to go out and convince or persuade or manipulate somebody into doing business with you. They come to you and say, "Hey, I've got a problem. Can you help me?" That's the type of marketing that you're looking for. Authentic marketing is the number one best way to get others engaged and have them want to do business with you. And you do that by positioning yourself as a thought leader, by planning your curriculum out for the entire month. So some steps, some tips, some things that you can do if you want to become celebrated in real estate: start a blog, a podcast, online live cast subscription. If you'd like to know how I do this process for you, how I build the content, how I design the content, reach out to me. I'd be happy to share that information with you. I'm always open to sharing how to be better, how to be more successful. And then engage with peers. Make sure that you share content with people. Make sure you tag people online when you're sharing content. Make sure that other people know that they're valued by you, that you recognize their values. And this will help position you as a thought leader. Then the last thing that I'll tell you today, for the purpose of values-based marketing that we're talking about and how to become celebrated, not just known in your industry, is staying ahead with continuous learning. There is something about being a lifelong learner. I literally always have a book with me. There's one in my book bag right now that I'm studying, 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth by John Maxwell. But I have hundreds, if not thousands, of books at my house that have all been read. It's one thing to have a book, it's another thing to read the book. How about audio programs? I have hundreds of audio programs on my phone. I have hundreds of podcasts on my phone, and a number of them that I listen to on a regular basis as I'm trying to cultivate and craft and draw out of myself some specific value that I have that I don't understand how to bring to the marketplace. That's what you can do. There is a number of different ways in order to receive these resources from me. Number one, the YouTube channel is a great place to start. But if you go to nathanbushmba.com, you'll see there's courses there, there's different programs there. I have seminars that we do in the future. I have a number of different things. If you follow me online, you'll begin to get a lot more of information that will help you craft and cultivate this thought process of becoming celebrated. All right. And here's the other thing. Just like you have to invest in marketing, marketing takes your values and multiplies them into the marketplace. That's what it does. If you're following the values-based marketing model, what it does is it takes your internal values and it multiplies them into the marketplace. But what if you're out of internal resources? Then a multiplication of your internal value is just dead. 10 times 0 is still 0. 100 times 0 is still 0. That's why it's so important that you start with the investment in yourself. How much money this past year have you invested in your own knowledge, in your own personal growth? By investing in your own personal growth, you build this whole concept around building value internally. And remember, what are you investing in your personal growth? The things that you value. What do you want to learn that helps you to become better inside? So my recommendation is to dedicate some time each week for industry news, for trends, and to build this personal value. You can enroll in different workshops. You can enroll in different courses. Those things help build that value, but you got to determine what those things are that you value. All right. So by the end of the show today, my hope is that each of you not just knows some strategy to become celebrated in real estate, but understands integrity, values, and service commitment that Red Maple's property management brings to the table. We believe not just in doing business, but in forging strong, value-driven partnerships. If your values align with the things that I've talked about on this show today, and it resonates with you, the principles that we're discussing, and that's like, yes, that's the type of business partner that I'd want as a property manager. Again, reach out to me. I'd be happy to have a conversation with you about how we can manage your small multifamily real estate. When you reach out to me, there's a number of questions that you probably want to have answered to make sure that your values are aligned. First one, how important is it for you to work with a property management team that prioritizes integrity above all things? How about this? Do you believe that having a property manager who continuously educates themselves on market trends would benefit you and your investments? Or this, you probably should answer this question. How would your real estate journey change if you were backed by a team that's not just known, but truly celebrated for their expertise and commitment? Also, maybe think about this. In what ways do you think that a brand identity and strong industry connections can influence the success of your property investments? And then lastly, how would you prefer a property management partner to look for your best interests among the market that they serve, aiming to add value to the community, not just do property management. If that aligns with you, then we might be a good fit. Keith, I appreciate you hanging out on the show today. I appreciate the fact that you believe that we have some great content here. If you'd like more of this content, Keith, just subscribe to the YouTube channel and you'll get more like this just about every week. So before we go today, who do you know that I need to talk to? If you're celebrating successes with Red Maples, meaning we've managed your property for you or we've helped you in some way, why not let your friends and associates be a part of that party and celebration? We'd be honored if you'd refer our services and extend our services. How about this? If you'd like to learn more of this type of information, subscribe to the YouTube channel. It will definitely help you out. And lastly, are you in real estate and would you like to join me on a podcast where we can celebrate your efforts together? I'm looking for additional guests that can be a part of the YouTube channel, that you can have access to some of the audience here, where we can share and showcase and celebrate your journey on the things that you value and things that you have succeeded at in real estate. So if that's you, please reach out to me, DM me, share a message online. I'd be happy to have that conversation with you and see if we can make a time work for a live stream with you. All right, guys, that's been real today. I hope you have a good weekend. I will be going to the Gateway to Freedom event this weekend. So if you're attending that, I'm looking forward to seeing you, Travis Durbin. I see you online as well. Looking forward to seeing you there at this event. This should be a great event. We highlighted a number of speakers. They're on the YouTube channel. Each one of those highlighted speakers were showcased on a Saturday. I cut those videos up so that you can go specifically pick out the information that you would want to learn. If you want to get to know some of those speakers before the show, go check out that event. Otherwise, you guys have a great weekend and subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the show. Let me know if there's additional content that you'd like to see, and let me know if you are in real estate and you would like me to celebrate you to the audience. Talk to you later, guys. Bye.